Welcome to the Loveland Report. I am Cleve Loveland alongside the Loner Ranger. We bring you all your real estate and mortgage news, and we've got some good numbers in from the Board of Realtors, and Bruce is going to update us on what interest rates are doing, what's going on in this market, and it's still a seller's market, Bruce. But inventory did pop up. We went to about 6,500 homes for sale. We haven't had that many homes for sale probably in 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And the number of sales is down slightly, down about 20%. Actually, it's a big drop, but it's down. But we're still got a good, healthy month of sales. But I think we're going to get more inventory, and I don't think we'll lose our seller's market. But it's going to turn. Now, here's the interesting.
Well, it's already shifting things a little bit more attractive for the buyer.
It is. They got a lot more to look at. I'm getting closing costs. We're getting a little bit off list price. And as a seller, you've got to be priced correctly. I'm going into so many neighborhoods, Bruce, and there'd be one or two homes maybe active, and they'd go under contract by the time we got the pictures taken, got our listing active. And now there's 5 homes for sale, 6 homes for sale, but they're all 10% above where they should be.
Right.
So pricing is important. Market position is very important. I just had one last week. I got multiple offers. I sold 5% over list.
Well, I've got one right now where a client is supposed to close at the end of this month. It's contingent upon the sale of her home, and she's had no offers on it, and it's been on the market for over a month. I'm trying to get that one over to you. I don't know what this real estate agent's doing. It's driving me absolutely crazy. But he made it contingent on the sale of that house, but the contract was weird, and he's picking up both sides of the transaction. I'm really trying to get that over to you.
Well, everybody's situation is different, but the main thing to look at is where are we when you go to sell. I already got our house being finished. The builder's going to finish the house up in 4 months, so we want to put your house on about 60 days before that's done. We can lay all these things out, or you have to have your money in your pocket. I'm still getting lease backs for people. I just got a 2-month lease back on a house in Claremont, and the seller actually went and found their home, and they're actually going to be out in 30 days, but they had that luxury of shopping. They had their briefcase full of cash,
right? And
they went out and got themselves a great house, reduced their overall expenses, their downsizing, and got closer to an area they wanted to be in. So every situation is different, but what's important is that you call me at 407-352-8118. Let me know what your real estate dreams or situation is, and what you need, what problem you need solved, and we will do that. And you do the same thing on the financing.
Absolutely. You can always call the Loner Ranger at 407-250-9144, or go to my website at webringyouhome.com. Now, Cleve, here's the thing too. I run into these situations where somebody says, "Oh, I've got my home on the market. It's been on the market for over a month, and I've had, some people look at it, but no offers." What does that generally tell the consumer? What's the bottom line on that typically?
Well, you got to look at a couple things. Not always price. I mean, price could be it, but if you're not getting normal market, Bruce, I get about 10, 12 showings, I get an offer. Now, right. I don't want those 10, 12 showings to come over 2 months. That's slow. I'm looking for about 4, 5, 6 realtors a week. And what was happening the past 2 years is we'd get 6 or 10 in a day.
Absolutely.
And then have 3 offers from those 10 that came through. And then it was a vicious cycle that started. So we're coming out of that now, but it's still a great time to buy. And even though rates, where are we at, around 5.5?
Yeah, you're in the mid-5s right now.
So you're going to refinance them in 6 months or 18 months down the line.
Anyway, sometime between the next 6 months and the next 36 months, we'll all be refinancing homes.
And so, but you got into the house, because one thing I'm already seeing it on stats. You showed me some pricing stats, and our median price was actually down 1% to 440.
1.6%.
What was it, 440 from 417 or something like that?
Is that cause for a fire sale?
No. But all those people that sold their homes still made money, unless they bought them last month, which is doubtful. So median price is, month over month, down 1%, but that just means less homes sold. Less homes sold at the higher end on that. So our prices are still going to rise in Central Florida. The builders don't have 40 homes sitting there unfinished, waiting for people to buy them. Our population is still growing. We've got an attractive state compared to the rest of the country. These rates have kind of leveled off, and 5.5 is still a good rate.
It's not bad, but when it gets better, we'll refinance. But here's the thing right now. I look at that, and I still hear a lot of people saying, you know what, I'm going to sit back for a little bit and wait. So although we saw a 1% decrease in value from June to July, let's talk about how much are houses up from July of last year to July of this year. What's that number look like? You know what it is? 20.1%.
Yeah.
So they're up 20.1%. You saw a little bit of a drop in 1 month. A little bit of a drop in 1 month is not going to make the market's not crashing.
I got a talking head here with an article from Fox Business talking about how, it's a good play for buyers and sellers to wait. Well, seller, depends on your situation. Buyers, get in now.
Never wait.
The price will be 10, 15% higher a year, 18 months from now. And you just got to get into something. Now, if you're a seller, and I have talked to some sellers. I had one seller, he wanted to sell, just wanted to get rid of this house. He'd already moved to his parents' home that he wanted. It was bigger, had more land. And the house he was going to sell was his parents' home. And I said, well, why don't we just rent it for 2 years? Because it's still got your homestead on it.
Right.
You got 2 years to do that and make some money on it. I said, because he had a mortgage on it still. And he was going to make like $50,000. But if we waited, I did the numbers on slow appreciation. I did the numbers on like 5% appreciation. And the amount his mortgage would go down over a year or two, he was going to almost double his money from 50 to 75 grand and then 100 grand. So there's all these things that come into play, and he's also going to cash flow. He's also going to have a nice tax write-off. So these are the things I lay out for people, and you can give me a call at 407-352-8118. And chances are, remember, one of those rooftops on your street, I probably helped sell it, buy it, or manage it.
Yep, and if you have questions for the loan arranger, you'd like to apply for a mortgage, you have a friend or family member that's currently renting, let me just put this in perspective, Cleve, and nobody knows it better than you. Right now, an average 2-bedroom, 2-bath home in the Orlando area will rent for between $2,000 and $2,100 a month. Now, let's put this in perspective. That is $25,000 per year. How much of that goes into your equity bank if you're renting? None. Okay? None. Zero. You have nothing to show for it whatsoever. Even if houses only went up 5%, only if 5%, we're on track for 15 to 20 right now, but 5%. You buy a $400,000 house, it goes up by 20 grand. And that's at 5. It goes up by 10%.
Yep.
You made 40.
Yep.
It goes up by 15%. You could make $60,000.
And this is what is important. It's the first step towards building wealth. Not many people can walk in and say, all right, I've got my first job. I'm going to go in and see my financial planner.
Right.
And most of them are going to not want to see you because you haven't got a portfolio to manage. But I can tell you, you and I can tell you at our buyer seminars, we do it all the time. Here's how you build a savings account.
All the time.
The house is the first part. Max your 401k. We go through all these things with you. But the real estate will pay for itself once you buy one. And then 2 years later, hey, let's put you in another house that you buy as your primary, and let's rent the old one. And let's do that again and do that 4 or 5 times over 10 years. And you've got a real estate portfolio in 15, 20 years.
Oh, you retire with a ton of money,
Yep.
ton of equity, and you can pass that on to your children, to your grandchildren, and you can live comfortably for the rest of your life. If you don't want to retire on Social Security income alone, you must build a portfolio. There's not a lot of us that are going to have a pension. I don't have a pension coming to me my way. and I don't know if Social Security is going to be enough for me to even pay my fuel bill in my boat, let alone live off of. So I need a way to support my family and go into retirement knowing that all the bills are going to be paid. The best way to do that is with real estate. I made 2 giant financial mistakes in real estate. One of them, I didn't buy enough properties in 2010. The other one, I sold too many properties.
That's a market
in
timing,
2018.
but I think in general, I wish I would have kept my first couple homes because of what I know now. But I know what works and what doesn't. And it's funny, I'm still seeing, I have people, every once in a while, I hear somebody ask about foreclosures. Oh, where's the wave of COVID foreclosures? Yeah. Well, last month in Central Florida, I think there was 4 foreclosures that sold in all of Central Florida.
The whole Central Florida.
And 1 short sale, stuff like that. And it's crazy to try and find those. But and you look at what Wall Street's doing, Wall Street's still out there. They're trying to own the residential homes just like Wall Street owns most of the apartment complexes. And that's important. You get into that. You've got them buying up. They're not in, there's no billboards in South Florida. I just came back from vacation, and there's no billboards down there saying, hey, we'll buy your house for cash.
No.
So by the big Wall Street companies.
Well, and the ones that do are the ones that are getting fined right now. I mean, I won't name any Open Door names, but if you look at the news, Open Door just got fined, was it $62 or $63 million for deceptive practices?
Yeah, saying that we'll sell for more, we'll get you more.
We'll get you more than a traditional real estate. False. Okay, they don't charge any fees or commission. False.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, everything about it. But here's the thing. People are sucked in by these great commercials, and they draw people in. And when you buy into that, you're just going to get suckered. You could get more for your home by hiring a traditional real estate agent that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Not somebody that's going to put a sign in the yard and pray that somebody like Cleve or one of his buyer's agents comes around and sells it. You've got to hire the right people. Hire Cleve Loveland and his team to help you sell your home. How do they reach you, Cleve?
407-352-8118 or lovelandreport.com, Bruce. And I see a lot of things happening right now. I think we're moving back towards that normal market we had. We had about a 3-month supply of inventory. We had normal sales, and I think we're just going to be in that. We've been in a seller's market for 12 years. And I think it's going to turn around.
We had a 3-week supply of inventory? Are you talking about what we
No, I'm saying that's what we had. Yeah, we had less than 3 weeks. But no, we're a normal market for 5 years. We were sitting about a 3-month supply with steady appreciation. Nobody was getting burned. People that bought their house 3 years early had to move for a relo. They were happy with what it would rent for. If they did have to sell it, they were getting out, with their down payment, getting that back, things like that.
Yep.
And we're just moving towards that market. But understanding what your house is to you and your budget, and how much do you save by owning a house instead of renting? It's just the first step you can make.
Well, there's no such thing as saving money when you're renting, and there's no such thing as a rich renter.
Yep.
You and I have seen it time and time again. I get to look at all your financials, okay? I'm in the mortgage business. I'm going to see your bank statements. I'm going to see your 401k. I'm going to see your paychecks. I'm going to see your W-2s. I get to see it all, okay? And I don't run into people that accumulate wealth by renting properties. I run into people that accumulate wealth by owning properties. And when we run into a client that's coming to us and saying, I want to put $200,000 down on this house, they didn't get it by saving it in their 401k. They typically got it almost every time by another real estate transaction.
And this is what happened to people for, let's say that, the bubble, the meltdown, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A lot of people were stuck because they were able to pay their mortgage, but they bought for $250 and they were worth $220, and it took a while for that to reverse. That's not going to happen with us now. We might have some people that stay put because, wait a minute, my interest rate's 3%, or I got a 2.25% 15-year. They might stay put, but they've built equity.
Keep that house and rent it and buy another one.
But prices are rising, and even if the pace of the rising slows, they'll still be able to sell. So we won't have a neutral market. I think the bottom of the market was like 700 sales a month in Central Florida. And we've got 3 times. We probably got 2 times as many people here now in 2022 than we did in 2008 and 9.
Oh, so. Sure. Yeah, we're expanding. This is a great place to live. Houses aren't going to go down in value, even if they fluctuate a little bit. You're going to see appreciation. Cleve didn't believe me on this. He doesn't think my numbers are right, but I showed numbers that the median sales price by the end of 2026 in Central Florida would be $640,000. He thinks that's an exaggeration. He thinks it'll be in the high fives or somewhere in the high fives.
Well,
is that right?
I might not be on the radio with you in 4 years. Sirius XM's probably going to buy me out for a couple million.
Oh, really?
But we can still talk. We'll still be talking. Yeah, we'll still be friends.
I don't know about that. But we write that down. I'm telling you that our median sales price will be in the 640s by the end of 2026. Why would you want to miss out on that opportunity?
Well, we are. I mean, think about it. We're not California, but we got the oceans. But we got a cool governor. We got low taxes. We got great weather. We don't have wildfires or earthquakes.
Nope.
Or
occasional tornado and hurricane.
Or just a crazy legislature telling us we can't have gasoline lawnmowers and stuff like that. But it's our cost of living is so much less. And okay, we don't have some mountainous views and we don't have wine country. I guess we do have a couple wineries around the state.
I can get a plane and I can fly over there.
Yeah, and take a vacation. Yeah.
Yep.
Airbnb there and then come back to reality. So we're gonna keep moving our price up. And COVID amplified that made to show that Florida was a great place to live and not nearly as expensive as the rest of the country. And that's kind of rebalancing. And I haven't seen those numbers come out yet. I've talked about how we were number 22, the 22nd most expensive state and in the union. And I bet you we've moved to like number 14 or 15, but those numbers haven't come out yet.
Give us your number.
407-352-8118 for Loveland Properties.
Yep. Or if you'd like to reach the loan arranger, get qualified for a mortgage, get a great deal on a mortgage, all you got to do is go to WeBringYouHome.com or call or text me at 407-250-9144. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger Radio Show.